It's Keegan, and I'm so happy to be here with you on this Tuesday evening in Montenegro, where I am. And wherever you are, many blessings, peace, love, and good energy coming to you from me. And I'm going to also check in on the Instagrams. That's the only way I always say it. Instagrams. Uh, for whatever reason. Now we're live there as well. So we're going live YouTube, Facebook, Instagrams, these connective digital infrastructures people are using. And today I have an exciting message of encouragement for us to tune in with our true selves, for us to get in touch with our ancient indigenous ancestry. And it may come as a surprise for some people, the thought that we all have it. We are all indigenous, somewhere down the vine, somewhere up the history, whichever direction you might consider the flow of time. And indigenous understand that it's cyclical, right? Time, as we've spoken about before in the Aquarian Renaissance group that's meeting tomorrow, 7 p.m. here in Central Europe time. That's 2 p.m. Eastern time in the States. We're doing the Aquarian Renaissance Roundtable, as we have been doing for the last 6 weeks. And this time we're bringing the Indigenous revival to the roundtable. That's the theme, and that's going to be the theme moving forward. For me, I'm excited to connect with this ancient energy. Like I said, go back in time, whichever direction. I was about to explain the heart, right? We were talking in past about the Aquarian at the Aquarian Renaissance Roundtable. We were talking in the past about the chakras of the body and how they correspond with the Hermetic principles. So there's 7 Hermetic principles. These are natural law, foundational, like gravity. Although gravity is not one of the principles. That's another natural law. One of them is the principle of rhythm, and that is the one that is in tune and in beating with the heart. So the heart is keeping time, and that's what time is. It's a cycle. It's a pulse. It's a beat. So the beat of the drum, which is why the shamans travel the astral realms. The heart is also connected with the astral realm, the astral body. We have layers of energy bodies. Lots to learn about. But this is something that we are now coming to understand. People like Barbara Brennan are publishing her book, Hands of Light. And what is the other one she has that has the same information in it? Her psychic ability to see the layers of the human energy field. This is coming into modern awareness, in people who take an interest in healing, in true healing, and going to the root cause of the health issues that they're dealing with. Those issues are addressed at the energetic level, at the spiritual level of our energy fields. Actually, our physical body is growing out of the energy field, and this is the same with all the world. The physical world is a product of the spirit world, of the energy world, of the higher dimensions. And this is something that the indigenous shamans have understood for many thousands of years, and carrying that wisdom down to the present day. And we all have a genetic connection to them. Right now I'm listening to the audiobook for The Cosmic Serpent. Jeremy Narby, I think, or something Narby is the name of the author. And it's actually DNA. And he's talking about his experience drinking ayahuasca and how that is, connecting shamans. And he interviewed and researched all these different people that had shamanic experiences and lifelong practitioners that are doing shamanic drinking of the ayahuasca and other ways, also using tobacco, to connect with the spirit realm. And the visions that they brought forth were actually looked at by microbiologists, and the microbiologists and are or they're identifying, excuse me for stumbling, but they're identifying the chemical compounds that they look at under a microscope and see these chemical compounds. Well, they're actually shown to the shamanic practitioners on their hallucinogenic journeys, and they're actually journeying inside themselves and being able to view these things, including DNA, which is the cosmic serpent. The book is about DNA, and that's our genetic connection. It's DNA is throughout all of life. It is the life-giving principle, and it's represented by a snake, which is living in water, and it's coiling. And I recommend that book to get the full idea here. But there's many other sources you can find this same wisdom, because it's universal wisdom, and we have it within us, and we have it within our ancestral lineages. And I want to share with you guys, a speech that I've written, and the point is to introduce to you the opportunity to join a focus group, to move into a greater awareness of our connection with our indigenous ancestry that we all have. As I say, I'm here in Europe now. This is where my indigenous ancestry comes from, the Slavic world. On my dad's side, my mom's side has more of a mix of different ones. Hello, en unidad luz. En unidad luz. Welcome to the stream. I'm just sharing that I'm going to share a speech. So the point of this speech, you'll discover. I'm going to repeat. I'll just go right into it. So I'll bring it up here. Here it is. So who are your indigenous ancestors? Every one of us has them, calling to us from some place and time, asking us to remember our roots. These days, that call is too often completely drowned out by the noise of the modern world, a world which seems to be spiraling from one catastrophe to the next. But if we can create the space, just for a moment, we might hear something profound. Our ancestors are still with us, whispering through the wind, the trees, the stories we've half forgotten. They're not asking for blind reverence or for us to live exactly as they did. They're inviting us into a deeper understanding of who we are and where we come from, so we can move forward with greater clarity and strength. My name is Keegan, and in this speech, I want to take you on a journey of rediscovery. We'll look at what it really means to reclaim our indigenous heritage, not as a distant relic of the past, but as something alive and relevant today. We'll explore how colonialism has severed so many of us from our roots, but more importantly, how we can begin to mend that connection so we can truly become whole again. From that place, we overcome our fears and finally remember how to enjoy life as a beautiful adventure, the way it's meant to be. By the end, I hope you'll feel not just inspired, but empowered with tangible steps to start your own journey home to yourself. Because when we begin to embrace where we come from, we start to understand where we are meant to go. What if we can bring back a culture of connectedness to Mother Earth, something genuine from within, which is my interpretation of the meaning of Indigenous. Indi meaning from within, As you know, it's also short for independent. And genus meaning having to do with creation. So creating from within. Let's clear something up right now. Most likely, your personal forefathers and mothers, like mine, came from a colonial culture, meaning they paved paradise and put up a parking lot, as the song goes, displacing the indigenous in almost every corner of the world. The expansion of empire goes back and back throughout history, but somewhere along the vine of your ancestry, you have relatives who belonged to a culture which lived in deep attunement to a particular place. It is possible to reconnect with those roots. And in doing so, we have the opportunity to grow together towards a more conscious lifestyle, to arrive at a place within ourselves that serves our need, to cultivate relationships that are truly fulfilling. Let me demonstrate what I mean with a bit of my own story. I'm a native to California. That's where I was born, in a town called Thousand Oaks, if you care to know. My parents both have mixed European ancestry, and I was lucky enough to have my dad's mom live with us a lot of the time. Her name was Betka Lankowska, and her mom and dad were immigrants from Poland and Russia, respectively. Year before last, I had the opportunity to go live in Poland for a spell, where I volunteered at a place called Nemoland, which means no man's land. It's a Dutch nonprofit which aims to bring people closer to nature and to various cultures which revere nature, such as pagan Slavic traditions, African animism, and Australian Aboriginal teachings about the dream time. This concept of the dream time really gels with the idea of indigenous, meaning creating from within. Row, row, row your boat, anyone? Life is but a dream. We are creators. There I sat with a group of local children around a fire pit, listening to an Australian father read the creation story of the rainbow serpent, accompanied by translation from his Polish wife. I took a video which I'll be happy to share with anyone who asks me for it. It's on my unite.live channel. As chance has it, there is a recreation of a primitive village just a valley or two over from Nemoland, a place called Dolina Harmony Valley. I visited that beautiful place where the past comes to life every day because there are young people inhabiting the traditional village and co-creating a thriving natural culture, obviously with some modern amenities, but very much in a spirit reminiscent of the ancient indigenous roots we all have somewhere. Now, I don't know the details of my family history beyond that my great-grandmother Kazimierza Lankowski lived in Warsaw, or Warszawa, as I learned it's called in Poland. But traveling where I did made an impact on me. It was transformational to see that village and to make discoveries that resonate somewhere deep within, like the carving of the ancient Slavic deity Svetovid, which is featured at the community center in Nemoland. Actually, I was so touched that I chose to stay in Europe. Now I live in Montenegro because I love the warm seaside. We may never know the historical details of our families if we aren't lucky enough to have had meticulous record keepers down the vine. But with guidance from my developing methodology, we can learn enough to form a meaningful reconnection. And as I say, our ancestors are calling for it. And I believe they are alive in each one of us and will help us immensely if we will just make the effort to share presence with them here and now. Here and now. I'd like to offer some linguistic musing, which I hope you will find insightful. It has to do with words like heritage, heretic, and heraldry. You'll notice that all share the Latin root heres, meaning air. Not the air we breathe, but the air who we are. See, the word eres is similar to the Spanish word eres, meaning you are. Relatedly, the word heretic actually comes from the Latin hereticus, which is derived from the Greek word meaning able to choose or one who chooses. What's the point of digging into these ancient linguistic codes? It's like digging for gold. The golden nugget of knowledge we find here is this message: you are the heir to the power of your ancestors when you choose to embrace their presence here and now. Heritage, after all, is not just about culture, land, or tradition. It's about connection. It's about remembering what was meant to be passed down to you, not just biologically, but spiritually, emotionally, and creatively. And that's something we all deserve to reclaim. Many of us grew up without a strong sense of where we come from. Maybe our family histories were lost, fragmented by migration, war, or assimilation. Maybe we were taught that tradition was something outdated, something irrelevant to the modern world. You see, heretics were persecuted for clinging to their indigenous pagan heritage. I believe it's no accident that these words start with HER, her, majesty, the divine mother, the earth, who feeds us, as well as the divine feminine in her myriad forms, which have been demonized and suppressed. Because when we have her here, we hold such power now. Circle up, and it's called a powwow. Wow. Well, such a thing is not in the best interest of the control and extract paradigm. Across the globe, colonialism and empire systematically dismantled indigenous cultures, replacing them with systems that prioritized profit over people, control over connection. Even now, much of what we learn in school, see in media, and experience in daily life reinforces a single way of being, one that often leaves us feeling disconnected, unfulfilled, and searching for something more. But here's the thing: that deeper connection hasn't disappeared. It's still available, waiting for us to embody it again. Reconnecting with our indigenous roots isn't about rejecting the modern world. It's about finding ways to weave old wisdom into our present lives. It's about rediscovering the practices, values, and worldviews that can help us feel more whole, more aligned, more at home in ourselves and the world around us. For some, this means learning about their ancestors' spiritual traditions or reconnecting with their native language. For others, it means embracing ways of living that honor the land, building community, or simply questioning the corporate nationalistic narratives we've been fed about success, belonging, and identity. I've seen how powerful this journey can be. I've walked large parts of it myself, and I can tell you it's not about achieving some perfect level of knowledge or authenticity. It's about being open, being curious, and allowing yourself to step into a relationship with your past in a way that nourishes your future. If this speaks to something in you, if you feel that pull, that quiet but persistent sense that there's something more waiting to be remembered, I invite you to take the next step. I'm offering a program to guide you through the process of reconnecting with your indigenous roots in a way that is personal, meaningful, and practical. This is not about looking backward with nostalgia, but about stepping forward with greater understanding and empowerment. Inside, we'll explore the history that shaped you, uncover the wisdom that still lives in your lineage, and find ways to integrate that knowledge into your daily life. You don't have to embark on this journey alone. You don't have to have all the answers. You just have to be willing to begin. Our ancestors are not just figures of the past. They live on in us, in our predispositions, our creativity, our dreams. The question is, are we listening? Will we honor the inheritance that's waiting for us, not just in the form of stories and traditions, but in the very essence of who we are? This is your invitation. Take the first step, reclaim what is yours, and together, let's remember what it means to belong. That's my speech. Thanks for listening. If anyone is out there doing it, I appreciate you. And yes, this is the invitation to join me in a group, uh, to explore our ancestry, to explore our heritage individually and collectively. And it's it's an opportunity to exchange and cross pollinate, perspectives that we each have. We all have our stories, that we've learned, from our parents and other relatives, um, and also, friends and even strangers, that we identify with, whether that's on an ethnic level or a geographical level or cultural level. And also we have things that resonate with us, you know that maybe we don't belong to that gene pool, uh, but but there are teachings that are ringing true, right? There are traditions, and it was prophesied, that people like me will come to the indigenous uh, cultures that have been able to remain intact, and to look to them for wisdom and guidance in this time of chaos and confusion, and where so many people are lost in the materialistic world of zero sum game, me against you, and everyone dog eat dog out for themselves, uh, world that we've been raised to integrate with that. But something in my spirit, in fact, all of my spirit rejects that. And I'm looking to find reconnection, to build reconnection. And I know that there are tons of people out there in the same situation and with the same, ideals and longing for belonging, for reconnection with our sacred, our sacred lineage, our divine inheritance as one in being with the Mother Earth, as stewards who are looking to live a life in attunement and be of service and sacred reciprocity with the land, with the plants and the animals and the invisible world that we don't that we know is there from people who have visionary experiences, but most of the time it's not something that we see, but it's all around us. And so the invitation is to grow a group, and I'm meeting every week in the Aquarian Renaissance Roundtable. I invite you to uh, leave a comment, right? Renaissance, right? Revival, right? Aquarius, right? Indigenous, right? Roots, whatever you choose to comment or send me a message, and I'll bring you in. It's tomorrow. It's weekly, the Aquarian Renaissance Roundtable. And also, if you can't make that, that this is that's something that I'm broadcasting, like I'm broadcasting now. Been broadcasting weekly for the last 6 weeks and planning to continue for Aquarian Renaissance Roundtable, just growing connections towards the culture of curiosity, acting on our curiosity about one another, being able to share authentically in a safe space, and uh, and kind of bare ourselves, be vulnerable, and true, share our truth, and share a bit of our love and a bit of our you know unique genius that we all have. And so I'd love to discover your unique genius, uh, a little bit at a time. And I'm sharing a little bit today, and I have much more to share. Like I said, I want to make this another container that that's focused more deeply on people's discovery of their ancestral roots, and to provide my support and to facilitate us supporting one another in that quest for reconnection, in that quest for belonging. And what are the ultimate goals of this? What's the point? Why engage with it? Perspective, number one, just gaining a broader concept that is in itself liberating. If something is there that is important for us, but it's something we don't know that we don't know, how are we gonna make that growth happen for ourselves? It takes being open and participating in a conversation so we can expose ourselves to new insights, to broaden our horizons, and to become more worldly. And that's what my journey has been about. I mean, since 2012, I've been traveling on 4 continents by the seat of my pants, actually, going zipping here and there. And looking for community to build small communities on organic farms, and looking for exchange, discovering new cultures, sampling this and that. So perspectives is a big takeaway, your opportunity, something that you can gain from this. And support, if we can create a culture, if we can create a community, that we don't have to be together in person. We have this wonderful digital world to interact, but if we can share our hearts, and offer support, offer some guidance when it's coming, and just be a presence for each other, that is so valuable. And that's really we all need to share our loving heart medicine with one another, and lift each other up during these times. And so this is another great excuse for you to join, to be able to offer your support and to receive that support from others who are on a similar path, that are looking to create this reconnection. And so having those perspectives and having that support is really going to lead to the ultimate outcome, which is transcending your limiting beliefs, changing your life. If you change the way that you look at the world, or however the saying goes, is if you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. I forget who that quote is from, but it's absolutely true. We are creators, and we're talking about the dream time and how we're manifesting by the thoughts that we think, together with the feelings that we feel. And if we can tune into the feelings that we have, and the thought forms that are coming through us from a transpersonal source, from our ancestors, and also from our future selves, by the way, our future indigenous selves. If we can tune into a culture, that's the Aquarian Renaissance, right? The ancient future coalescing in the present of our sacred intention to be in harmony with the earth, to create community that is mutually supportive, of people that truly care about each other and really provide nurturing, and so that we don't have to live in that paradigm of dog eat dog any longer. So, oops. This is the great vision, and I welcome you with open arms to come and get involved. Like I said, tomorrow evening is the Aquarian Renaissance Roundtable. Every Wednesday, I'm saying evening because that's for Central Europe, where I am. That's 2 p.m. Eastern time in the States during this month, because we also have daylight savings time here in Europe, but it doesn't change until the last Sunday of the month. So daylight saving time just changed in the States. And so now we're only 5 hours between the East Coast and where I am in Montenegro. But anyway, that's just some minutia. But thank you for tuning in, and I'm going to share. I want to share this speech in a more well, I'll try and memorize it, and then I can share it more. So it gives you a more authentic feeling where I'm really speaking, because something that I wrote, and it is from my heart, and I'm looking to share more of that. And reach out, leave a message, leave a comment. Let's convene, and sending you so much love, peace,